wrote the book Vaccines Are Dangerous. The first edition came out in 1991, so I've been at this for over 30 years. And I've been an activist. I worked with Al Sharpton, holding forums and engaging in demonstrations for various issues, especially things related to health and the environment. And then I've worked with Bobby Kennedy's Children's Health Defense and doing similar things on various issues of health and parental rights and awareness about vaccines. So that's back on who I am. Renee's going to go. I'm going to just go into letting Renee take over from here. I was trying to wait for more people, but some people obviously can't make it, so it's okay. We're here tonight to learn about Renee Mitchell, who's a candidate for the New York State Assembly District 45 in Brooklyn. And Renee's been around for many years. She's received all types of awards from the city and state. She's been inside the White House, developed connections and things in there. And she's very much on the side of, so as I was saying, so Renee has been around a long time, and she's very influential. I was shocked because I was having problems in my building with the elevator not working. And Renee is the one who's able to just make a few phone calls. Next thing I know, I was on Fox 5 News, and I was all over the place and put a lot of pressure on the landlord. He quickly fixed the elevator.
Renee don't play, man.
No, she doesn't. She also got me hooked up with officials inside the mayor's office. I mean, I was shocked. I think all spoke highly of Renee. So we got a real fireball here that I think is going to be really good for the city. But you guys will decide about those issues. And yeah, so I'm just going to turn over to Renee to please give us background on who you are and touch on some issues that that we're concerned with. And so, Renee, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Some of you already know me, okay, but the ones that don't, my name is Renee Mitchell, and I'm here tonight on this Zoom, okay, not for a paycheck or a party boss. I'm here because I spent years in the trenches as a field organizer, okay, as a force to be reckoned with to help the vulnerable population. And I've been doing it in all 50 states. I know how they use dead voters to hike up numbers and how they use electric clerical traps to silence, okay, independence. I'm people over party. I work for you. My job will be to create bills to be passed and legislated, okay, to help you and not hinder you. And I support medical freedom. I support unvaccinated workers being compensated and getting their jobs back. And I'm not just going to be a person that support your bill. I'm going to be a person that actually take action and put pressure on these people to make sure that your voice is heard and you get justice. So if anybody have any questions, okay, for me, okay, I'm willing to take questions from all of y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, Renee has a much broader story to tell, a lot of exciting stuff, but maybe a little sharp, but we'll get her out of that. Renee, can you tell us a little bit about, I'm gonna ask a few questions and then I'll turn it over to everybody else to ask us some questions. Can you tell us about the person you're running against and what are some of his limitations you see since he's in office right now, and what do you think you can improve upon?
Okay, well, the person that I'm running against is Michael Novakhov. Okay, Michael Novakhov, okay, is not in tune with what the everyday people need. He was a Russian radio host for 20 years, and he took office in 2022. And the whole community, okay, issues is not being addressed. See, I'm a type of person that I address the vulnerable population dealing with homelessness, housing, instability, healthcare, mental health, addiction. And I want to push some of these people towards self-sufficiency so they have options. I want to create policies and bills, okay, that works for these people. I'm not in there for just lip service. I'm an action person, and I like to take action when addressing problems and issues that come at hand. And I feel like Michael Novakhov is a person that's just lip service, no action, lip service, no solutions. And I feel like we don't need people in office that is not doing anything for the constituents or the community.
Well, how many bills has he passed since he's been in office?
He has not passed near a bill since he's been in office.
Not
And
one?
he has a sign on his office door asking for ideas to create a bill.
No, wait a minute. Isn't a politician coming to office supposed to be in touch with the community they want to represent? Why does he not have his own ideas for bills? Or what?
Well,
I mean, what do you think of that?
His whole stance, okay, on his website, you can go check it out, it's been anti-Semitism and Israel first. District 45 is diverse. You got Polish, you got Irish, you got Italian, you got Mexican, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Black. Okay. And if you're going to be a public servant, you need to be a public service for everybody, not just one particular class of people, which is your country, Israel, and just waving the Israel flag. Okay. What about all the other issues that need to be addressed from the constituents that also reside in this district? They're not being met.
I see. And I think you indicated before that you're getting pretty good response from a wide variety of people in that district, not just African Americans. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I've been to speaking engagements in Catholic senior centers. I've been talking to business owners. I've been talking to people that live in the NYCHA projects there. And everybody wants somebody that's actually in tune with their everyday problems. And he's not doing that.
Okay. I know you talked about the vaccines. What do you think about parents having the right to make decisions about whether their child receives a vaccine? What do you think about that?
I think that the parents should have full, control of what goes on with their children and what's going inside their children's body.
Okay. And I know you talked about the fired workers. Do you have any ideas of what, because they had a ruling in their favor, but then an appeal was filed. What do you think about things that might be done to further help firefighters, police, teachers who are still struggling to get back pay and be reinstated? What do you think else can be done to support them?
Well, what approach I would take if I was assemblywoman in office is that I would have direct engagement with decision making for unvaccinated workers. I would request meetings. I would testify at public hearings. I would have letters to the editor. I would have town halls. I will expose problem codes. I will organize grassroots support, and I will target inconsistent policies.
Fantastic. I haven't heard any other politician making that type of commitment to them. What do you think are your chances of winning? I mean, everybody's optimistic, but what do you think are your chances? Because I know it's going to be an issue in everybody's mind. Do you have a chance of beating this guy or beating whoever they put up for the Democratic side?
Well, I think I have a very good chance of winning for the simple fact is that he barely won. Okay, he only won by 2 points against Joey Sabal, the Democrat that ran against him. So he doesn't have a strong hold in this district. And this district, even though I'm running as an independent, the district is basically a Democrat stronghold.
Really? Okay. Yes. I believe some people may have some concerns whether or not you might be stealing votes from the Republicans, but from what you're saying, it seemed like you might be taking votes from the Democrats.
Well, to be honest with you and everybody on this call, in my opinion, I believe that the Democrat and the Republican is part of the same corporated machine. If we're going to move past making real changes, we have to stop looking at parties and stop voting Republican down the line, Democrat down the line, because we're voting in the same monster. Okay, we're not changing anything. Okay, we need to start seeing, what does this person stand for? What type of impact has this person put in the community? What have this person done for themselves? What type of life have they built for themselves? What changes have they made for constituents as a whole? They're not looking at this. A lot of people are just being voted in office because I'm a Republican, or I'm a Democrat, or because I support Trump. No, we don't need people that's riding Trump coattail. Who are you? What could you do for the people? How can you make an impact if you take office? That's what it should be about.
Fair enough. Well, you have actually proven yourself, because I know you've received various awards. Can you tell us about some of the awards you received for your work over the years?
I was Power Woman of Brooklyn, 2022. I was Distinguished Woman of the Year by the New York State Assembly in 2023. I have numbers of citation awards, okay, numbers of promenation awards, okay. I was Tenant of the Year for supportive housing, okay, Parent of the Year by Pratt College. I got numbers of trophies and awards, okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to see if I can show you, okay, from my house right now, if y'all can see.
Fantastic. So you've actually been out there and people have recognized your abilities to get things done.
And I also am executive director of my own nonprofit called Breaking the Cycle Drop Corp. And I deal with unhoused homeless people. And I started in 2021 with that. And my goal for that is to use wraparound services to push them towards self-sufficiency so that they have options. I was also on the board for 6 years for the National Coalition of Homeless. I was also the co-chair for the policy of the National Coalition of Homeless. So I definitely know how to write policies and create it into a bill and pass it through legislature to become law. Okay. I was also the co-chair for housing, and I'm a strong advocate for injustice. And for over 30 something years, I've built a collision with the professional class, nonprofit organizations. Okay, been on White House political strategy teams. I've been with Federal Connection, Department of Human Needs. I've been, advocating for the most vulnerable over 30-something years.
One last, go ahead.
And I'm the type of person that if I take office and I commit to something, I'm going to make sure that I do my job to the fullest. I'm going to put pressure on them from the inside and influence them, okay, to make sure that the policies that they sign off on helps the people and not hinder them. I'm not one to take no for an answer, and I'm not one to be manipulated or brought off. I'm just that type of person. I'm cut from a different cloth. And I will definitely advocate for unvaccinated workers that lost their jobs.
Fantastic.
And for parental rights. I will also, okay, create policies to ban vaccine mandates from school, okay, government employments, okay, private business, and require special label, okay, for food allegedly containing vaccine materials, and prohibit discrimination based on vaccination status.
Thank you. I have one last question. I'll turn it over to everyone else. I know you're having a rally coming up in March for the homeless. Can you tell us about that and why that's a serious issue, and how is your opponent dealing with homelessness?
Well, my opponent wants to criminalize homeless. He wants to lock people up for being homeless because he feels like it's destroying the quality of life and it's a problem. Okay, for me, nobody knows what type of trauma, okay, or illness or anybody dealing with in their daily lives. Okay, so I don't want to criminalize them. I want to save lives. I want to help them. Okay, so the rally, okay, March 21st at 2 p.m. in front of 1 Kenilworth Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, is about New York City shelters and the conditions that these clients are living in inhumane conditions with lead, rat festation, okay, brown water, moldy food, okay, papers being delayed, deaths in there. And we want to change the way they operate in the shelters because they're also warehousing them like cattle. They get $1,000, they get $5,000 a month for each shelter individual. So they're not trying to push these people forward and give them options. They're warehousing them. It's a business. There's no wraparound services inside. Okay, and I believe that a shelter should have wraparound services on site. There should be medical on site. There should be drug addiction counseling on site. There should be mental health on site for psych evaluation, psychosocial, Medicaid management. There should be job readiness, okay? And they should be able to access these services while they're in the shelter to push them towards some type of self-sufficiency so that they have options. That's not happening. It's a money laundering Ponzi scheme.
And I think I want to make sure I heard you right. You say they're given $5,000 per person, and the conditions there, rat infested, and all those horrible things. $5,000 a month.
Yes, they do. $5,000 a month for each shelter individual.
Oh, unbelievable. Oh, and lastly, I believe you also was active in supporting Bobby Kennedy when he was running for president.
I was Bobby Kennedy, okay, field organizer and canvasser. Okay, I've trained a lot of national directors that came to New York, okay, on petitioner signature. I also trained them how to canvass. And Bobby also did a YouTube, okay, and he sent people from California to film me on the ground, okay, because I was so good, okay, on canvassing. And the YouTube, I believe, is Hitting the Street for RFK Jr.
Fantastic. Okay, I would like to turn it over to everyone else to ask a question. I'll just go from left to right on my screen. Cheryl, you can unmute yourself. No, you're still on me. Okay, yeah, Cheryl. Yeah, say something. Okay, good. Yeah, feel free to ask Renee a question.
So you did mention the vaccine mandates and helping with probably getting those eliminated. So what are some of the steps that you're gonna take to get these eliminated from the children's schedule? Because a lot of us know that these vaccines are actually making the children sick from day one. We normally see the children come out because I am a doula. And when we, as doula, when we have our clients, we go to the hospital, we assess the babies from the beginning, their APGAR scores and things like that. So when we assess the babies and after they take their scheduled shots, we notice differences. So if a child is 9 or 10 on the APGAR score, which is meaning basically 8, 9, 10 being almost perfect, or 10 being perfect on APGAR score, and then after taking those vaccines, now the children are regressing. What are some of the steps are you going to take with maybe either doctors, the FDA, scientists, CDC, whomever it may be, to help so that these children are no longer harmed, and then the parents are not being told that it's not the medication? Because if you go into the doctor one way and then within a week or two or even a few days you come out one other way, and the parents are being told this is not the reason why this is happening, then we need to figure out what we need to do in order to protect those parents and those babies, because they're literally killing these babies and making them sick, that they're not going to be able to be normal adults. So what are you going to do about that? And what measures are going to take so that you can help or assist in making sure that these babies and their parents are safe?
Well, the first step is that I will be sitting at the table with people like you, Cheryl, and I will be curbing a policy, putting together a policy, and then I'll be trying to create that policy into a bill, and I'll be trying to actually push it towards legislator to become law with the state, okay, legislators, okay, in the state government.
Okay.
Okay, that would be the first step I would have to take. And I would have to put pressure, okay, on the state legislature, because obviously they've been ruling a different way, okay, that people haven't got results. So that would be my first step, okay? And if it doesn't go that way, then it's other measures that I would take, and that would be basically, okay, public pressure.
I agree. The public pressure really does have a big impact if we get more and more people aware of these issues. And Bobby Kennedy has done a lot in raising awareness over the past few years. Okay, Cheryl, thank you very much. Christina, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, you're still muted. Christina, you're still muted.
There we go. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
So yeah, Renee, I guess one thing I learned through working with you and your colleagues, there's something called the Taylor Act, right? That doesn't allow the actual workers to like protest after. Do you know about that? And you for that or against it?
Well, Christina, I'm not sure if I understand your question. It won't allow people to protest. I'm not sure if I understand that.
I'm just learning about it recently that and maybe this wasn't the best time to bring it up, but it's something called like the Taylor Law, and it doesn't allow for I saw that a lot of people, they got fired because they wouldn't get the vaccine, and then they pretty much barely had the right to protest. And I was learning that there's something called the Taylor Law that like doesn't allow them to do that. I didn't know if you guys knew anything about that. That was kind of the question. Sorry to
Yeah, I just looked it up to quickly kind of give a background. The Taylor Law governs labor relations for most public employees. It grants the right to organize and bargain collectively, but strictly prohibits strikes, imposing penalties on employees and unions for work stoppages. It creates the Public Employment Relation Board to resolve disputes.
Wow. This is passed already? This
Yeah, that's from the 70s. It's like 1967. That sounds like some bull, right?
That looks like we need to challenge that policy since it was already put in place in the 70s, okay, and reintroduce a new policy, okay, allowing for us to be able to protest.
Okay. I'm not familiar agree with that, but I'm going to become familiar with this. I get the impression there's probably more people online who I can't see. Like Cozy, you're there, right? Cozy?
Yeah, I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Rita, are you there? I guess not. John?
She's there. She just unmute.
Rita, are you there?
She probably doesn't know how to turn it back on.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself. So anybody else that I can't see for some reason?
Yeah, Renee, what district are you running? Is it 45? Yeah, and that's is that Sheepshead Bay? What is that?
Brighton Beach, Sheepshead Bay, Gravesend, Manhattan Beach, and a certain part of Midwood.
Okay.
I'm unmuted. Sorry.
Okay, great. We're just going down the list. People I can see left to right. Celso, feel free. Whatever question you have for Renee. You're muted. You're still muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I like hearing everything that Renee is saying. She's very grassroots orientated, and she sounds very conscientious, and her awards prove that she is a conscientious individual. Boy, do we need that more than ever in politics. I like the idea that you said that we got to stop thinking along the terms of Democrat and Republican because, I'm 63 years old. I'll be 63 in March, and I've seen this my whole life, Whether you vote in Republican or Democrat, the agenda is still the same. It's still free gifts to the rich. It's still the war. It's just it's the same, with a different tone, with a different look, but it's the same, and that just has to change,
It's still inside trade deals. It's still kickbacks. It's still backroom door deals being made that you didn't vote for.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to see how this operated when I worked on a national platform, which was the National Coalition for Homeless. I had many congressmen on my platform. I had many elected officials. Okay. I've worked, okay, directly with them. And I've seen how they came in and they made promises that they were going to do this and do that. And then a month later, these people are still sitting in the same place. Okay. I'm tired of that myself. Okay. I want to let people be able to have a chance to curb whatever little space they can out of life for them, themselves, and their family, and be able to move forward in some type of direction and not just be gaslight over and over again when it comes time to vote.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I had people call me, okay, this was last week, and they didn't want me, and this was the GOP, they didn't want me to run for office against Michael. They tried to divert me first to run for Congress and said they will fully fund my whole campaign. And I said no. Then they said, oh, well, we want you to actually sit down and meet with him and we'll give you a job working in his campaign in his office. I said no. I said, I'm not doing this for title. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm people over party. Okay. I actually want to save lives and I actually want to help people. Okay. I cannot be brought. Okay. And if you feel like I'm a threat, oh, well, okay. Get ready for the run, win or lose. I'm going to hold court in the streets for the people because the people really need it. And not only that, okay, for years, okay, I'm going to use this as an example. For years, we have people that are conditioned living in NYCHA projects and they're living with mold, rat infestation, leg, brown water. And regardless if these people are poor, no elected official has actually came in there and tried to really inspire these people. Oh, we'll come and send repairs. We'll patch this up. Okay. These people have dreams too. Have you ever thought about maybe the kids don't have money for college? Let's create a vocational training program. Let them graduate from this program and get the job and retire with a pension. They got something to look forward to. Or have you ever thought that maybe these people don't want to live in the projects with pissy elevators, okay, drugs in the mailbox, gangbangers, okay, gun violence, okay, in the playgrounds, the kids can't properly play, okay, and the inhumane conditions in their NYCHA projects. Maybe they want to create a pilot program where they can move out of the projects and go into Michelina co-op apartment or be a first-time homeowner for some type of pilot program we can create for them. Nobody is thinking about doing anything like this. They get in office and they're only concerned about lining their pockets. They come in with 100 and something thousand salary, and by the next year, they're millionaires. Make this make sense.
Yeah.
I want to save lives and I want to help people. That's why I'm running. Because I'm tired of the conditions. I'm tired of the way this world is going. And I want to be able to actually help people. It has nothing to do with, okay, party, okay, or Democrat or Republican or fame or title. I basically want to get in and help people like y'all every day.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's happened before, Renee, in Brownsville, East New York, where they afforded some homes, little homes, but they were nice little homes called the Nehemiah Housing. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's in Brownsville, East New York. Mm-hmm. And the people who lived within NYCHA, and there's a lot of NYCHA in that neighborhood in Brownsville, East New York, they were given the first opportunity to buy if they wanted to move from the projects into those little homes. Nehemiah, they were called. And that worked very successfully. Those little homes are still up and standing, and it's a nice little pocket of a neighborhood with those little homes that they built. Real nice. They were affordable for like 30,000, the cheapest, to like 70,000. And there were many people within the projects that were able, through a good mortgage, to be able to move out of the projects into those nice little homes, So that has been done before, And I'm glad to hear you talking about. I would just say this, that one of the most important things as a poll worker that I wanted to investigate about voting and why people vote the way they do. You had mentioned that before. And a lot of people vote along party lines and racial lines. I'm Hispanic. The guy running for the office is Hispanic. I'm going to vote for him. there's a tremendous, and I speak to a lot of people when on poll day, helping the people that are voting. There's a tremendous lack of political education within the voting communities, people that come out to vote. I would say, especially the Hispanic community, they need to be better educated. You know, I would just say, you know, if you're able to get to this position, which God willing, I believe you will, that that's one of the things we need to have on your agenda is political education so that people can understand who they're voting for, how to look up for the records of the individuals that are running for office, how to assess what it is that these people want to bring to the table if they're first-time candidates, so on and so forth, and what are their job descriptions. Not only, you know, for mayor, job description for governor, job description for assemblyman, job description for whatever's being voted on within the polls. That is critical to waking up the consciousness of people, and because people mean well, they're voting because they mean well, but they need to be educated. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, because I've done poll work already for like 6 years. They really need to be educated, you know?
I think that's a great point. Renee, anything else you want to say on that? On what Cozy said?
I wanted to bring them aware, okay, because I also worked as an independent contractor consultant, okay, for a lot of elected officials that was running for primary, general election, okay, presidential, city council, okay, assembly, okay, running for office. And one thing I noticed, okay, the last election, I worked in the primary for George Sarapopoulos, and he was a Republican candidate, okay, running against a Democrat. And he was running in a primary against Richie Barbosa, which was a GOP chair for the Republican. And it was a big, okay, scandal where, okay, dead people, okay, were being added to the write-in. Dead people were being added, okay, to vote. And, you know, the problem with the Board of Election, okay, is that I think they need to revamp their whole entire system, because if people are deceased and they deceased for a certain amount of years, they should be erased out of the Board of Election system, okay? But a lot of politicians, okay, over the years, been counting their votes through dead people. They've been adding dead people on the ballot. And obviously, okay, George, okay, blamed Richie Barbosa. Okay, Richie Barbosa blamed George. Okay, the Board of Election got in, the lawyers got in, and eventually Richie was defeated and George won the primary. Okay, but the whole thing was in the news and everything was about dead people being put on the ballot.
Fantastic. Let's move to the next person. Cozy, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just listening. I'm, you know, taking it in, and I really don't have any questions right now. But you know, I need to look up more about the person she's up against, and I did see he has 2 COVID vaccine bills that he was co-sponsoring. I just was kind of looking him up right now. So he is, you know, he is helpful in that part. So you know, obviously Renee seems like she has integrity here. So, you know, I just want to look up more information and just find out what I can. But yeah, Renee, sounds like, you know, you're a warrior, and, you know, just whatever you want to share with us, just, I'm all ears.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I don't just want to support, okay, your bills, okay, through the mayor election, okay, because I worked part-time with Jim Walden's, okay, campaign. I worked with Adina Clark, okay, and a lot of these people, okay, been telling the unvaccinated workers that was fired, I support your bill. Okay, now if you support their bill, okay, and you're already in office, we don't need somebody who's just going to support the bill. Okay, what actions are you going to take behind it, okay, to try to get this bill passed? Okay, to try to get this bill to become law. And if the bill doesn't become law, okay, are you going to mobilize the communities? Okay, are you going to mobilize your city council? Okay, your state assembly? Okay, are you going to get the press involved? Are you going to go on national TV?
Yeah, and listen, and to be fair,
these are things that steps you need to take further, okay, to help these people. And I'm the type of person that I hold court in the street. That's how I get down.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not an easy thing to do, right? Because like most of the Democrats there are totally against it. They don't even want to hear it, right? So it's already hard. So you need somebody who's going to push and, try to talk to people on both sides of the aisle, try to befriend them, try to do whatever you can, because it's already a hard sell for them. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't want to hear from us.
And see, the connection with me is that I work across party line.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing.
So I have connections, okay, all across the board. So I'm more, okay, I have that trust, okay, within, okay, the system where I can influence and persuade things to go in a certain way.
Yeah, that's good. Really good.
Fantastic. Rita?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you finished.
Yes.
Wait a minute. As far as my opponent is Republican this and Republican that. Okay, Democrat did this, Democrat did that. It's like the blame game trap. Okay, and my thing is, how do we come up with this best solution that works for everybody? You know that these people were wrongfully, okay, terminated. How are we going to fix this? These people lost their retirement. These people, okay, some of them became homeless. Okay, how do we help these people move forward to this? Okay, but I believe by not having, okay, working across party line and just using the blame trap, it gets stuck right there in the middle. Nothing moves, okay, and they turn around and say, oh, well, I couldn't get it passed because of Democrat, or I couldn't get it passed because of Republican. But in the meantime, the constituents, okay, the ones that is fighting, okay, for their jobs, okay, they're stuck in the middle.
Fair enough. Rita, yeah, feel free. Whatever questions you have.
Yeah, I have a question. Renee, earlier you had referenced something that how they come up with 10,000 extra votes. I think you said something like that. And I'm actually involved with an organization that's whatever. They're concerned with election misconduct. So how do you and in fact, New York, in New York and the rest of the country, but can you expound on that a little bit more? Like how do you know how the election misconduct works? How they come up with all these extra votes? Because this organization knows for a fact, as we have proven in Georgia, that there are 15,000 votes coming out of an apartment building that houses 400 people. Okay, the same kind of nonsense is going on in New York. In New York.
Well, Rita, there's people, okay, that were registered voters, okay, and they always vote, and they passed away, but the Board of Election doesn't have them as deceased.
Right.
They have them as a living person, still registered voter. Okay. And these people they find a way to take their names and add them in as write-ins like their vote. Okay. And with the situation, okay, with George Sarapocas, when I worked with him in the primary, was one of the guys, okay, he was a Republican, but he normally votes in favor of Democrat. And he got a letter in the mail from the Board of Elections saying he made an error in his mail-in ballot. And that's when he alerted them and said, okay, I never voted. Okay, how did my name get submitted? And then another woman, okay, her mother was dead like 10 years or something. And they had also had her added on to the mail-in ballot. So right. Where the error comes in is that these numbers of people, okay, that were registered voters and were in the system as registered voters, died, deceased, or whatever, and the Board of Election has not cleared out the system. They're still like living people registered to vote. So they
Yeah.
need to take care of that problem too.
I actually worked with the lawyer who won that case. I know him very well. Aaron Foldenauer, he won that case for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there, but election fraud, I don't know if you guys have seen what Nick Shirley's doing out in California.
Mm-hmm.
We need that done in New York. And I'm just throwing this out there for you, Renee, but if you know like the inner workings of it and can put together some videos where you can shine the light on this in plain language, simple videos with Renee Mitchell knocking on somebody's door. So where's the 104-year-old who's voting? Can I talk to them? That would get you in some kind of spotlight. So anyway, just throwing it out there because Nick Shirley is he's an animal right now at in California. And if we could get, it's even worse in New York. The corruption in New York, the voter misconduct in New York is unbelievable. So I'm just
Rita, I'm most sure that because of that I didn't, bite and was manipulated with the bribery, that they're going to try to challenge me, with, signature ballots. But I'm ready for that because I personally go door to door myself and I go door to door business. And I make sure that the signature ballots is matching everything on the ID. So, and I dot my I's and cross my T's. And another thing that I do, is that I send a monthly statement, a bank statement to the Board of Election every month. And I give them copies of everything that I do. I dot my I's and cross my T's and I expose everything on LinkedIn, social media, X. So whatever games they're trying to play, when they come to me, they're going to have a problem. I'm not going to be one to just sit there and let them, be corrupt, with me in this campaign. Because like I told you before, Rita, I'm here for y'all. I'm for the people.
Yeah, you're a famous door-to-door person. That is your claim to fame, Renee, is peer-to-peer gathering of signatures. I remember that from campaign, but you saw what they did to him. And I've seen it happen to a lot of different candidates where they just sue you right off the ballot because they have a bottomless pit of money to get you off the ballot, and the courts are fixed in their favor, not yours. Just telling you, that precision, everything you write has to be so incredibly perfect. Your address, everything, or they'll get rid of you because that's what they do. So anyway, and the voter fraud thing is huge. It's going to become, in my opinion, bigger as we approach election day because
they tried it with Bobby, too. They had when Will Booty was in New York, I was actually working with Will Booty, and somebody had hired a company, and they were supposed to be collecting signatures, and they were actually doing fraudulent stuff, and Will Booty had to throw away 30,000 signature petitions, and then me and my team had to go out there and collect more signatures, to get to the amount that we needed, for him to be put on the ballot. But they still tried to find another way, to get him off, and they used his address, him not having an address in upstate New York. So we know all the games that they're playing, and I'm going to make it, too big, for them to be able, to do anything corrupt and fraudulent with this campaign. Because like I said, I'm going to be dotting my I's and crossing my T's, and I'm going to be exposing everything. So if you do turn around and say, oh, well, Renee, did something. Renee just posted everything that she did. Renee got videos of her talking and speaking to Gabriel. Renee got videos of her, knocking on doors. I'm not going to really be sending, people to do it for me because I'm used to doing it myself. And if you know anything about me with Bobby, I was doing, me and Lorraine, was doing 3 to 4 neighborhoods in one day by ourselves without volunteers.
Yep.
Fantastic. Judith, are you there?
Wait, before you go on, I gotta ask.
Okay.
Serious question. Is that his real name or is that a stage name? Will Booty, did you just say? I had to make that joke. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I didn't pick up on that. Judith, are you there? You might be muted. I can't hear you.
She typed, she's here, but no mic. She's having mic issues.
Oh, okay. Well, unless somebody else has a question or something, I think we're about ready to wrap up. I think Renee, you did a great job of explaining your positions and what you bring to the table. And any final questions? Quick questions before we wrap up.
Okay.
Anybody?
If anybody would like to, help volunteer with my campaign, okay, I see a superstar on the Zoom call, Rita Palmer. Okay, I definitely could use your assistance.
Well, give out your website and how people can contact you, and people want to make a donation to your campaign. Can you provide some of the information right now?
Right now, because of me wanting to be very careful with keeping track of the funds coming in and coming out, because I was accepted for New York State matching funds. Okay, I'm doing everything through Zelle. Okay, so I sent Curtis the link of the Zelle. You can put it in the chat. Okay, for them if they want to donate.
Well, just give it to them right now. Tell them how to reach you on Zelle. Just can you give it to them verbally so it's on the video?
Okay, you can put I'm putting my email in. Okay. Then you can put Chase Bank, Renee.
Are you putting it in the to chat?
Yeah, M. Mitchell. And then you can go to Zelle. This is the information you need to put in when you go to Zelle. Okay, and $10, $20, whatever y'all can donate, will be fine, because with the New York State matching funds, the way it go is $10 will, I believe, get me 120. Okay, $20 get me 200 or something like that. Matching funds.
Right, but there's nothing preventing anyone who can afford to give $50 or $100 from doing so, right?
Yeah, they can also give that too. Okay.
Okay. And those who want to volunteer, how can they reach you to volunteer?
They can each reach me through my email also.
Okay, just give you your email address verbally.
Mitchell Renee.
Spell it.
MITCHELLRENEE 496@gmail.com.
Good. Want to do it one more time because audio.
Mitchell Renee.
No, Renee Mitchell, right? Or Mitchell Renee?
Mitchell Renee 496@gmail.com.
Great. And I'll be sure to post it when I put this video together. Well, I think we've covered a lot of territory, and somebody said something?
Kazi, that's it? Your name, Kazi?
Cozy.
Cozy?
Yes.
I can definitely use your help too, Cozy. if you have time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Talk. Yeah, we'll see. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their busy schedules to be here. I see a ninth person just joined. Judith, can you speak now? No, I guess not. I don't know the ninth. There's somebody just joined because we went from 8 to 9, so and another person joined. I just don't know who it is.
Somebody just wrote no mic. Something must be wrong with her.
Okay.
Cordelia.
Somebody said, I apologize, I got the time wrong.
Cordelia's on.
Cordelia? Who's Cordelia?
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Cordelia. She was with, I believe, Medical Freedom too. Cordelia, could you turn on your mic? Can you speak?
Hi. Hello. Good evening, everyone. So sorry, I'm on Central Time, and I was thinking 7 Central, but it's 7. I think it's an hour ahead over there in New York.
Okay. Well, I know you missed all the information that transpired, but maybe if you have a quick question for Renee, and that would be great.
Well, I'm very supportive of what Renee's doing. I know a lot about her focus, and it's really, really important to have voices like hers in the political landscape right now, because we know we're in a situation where we have leaders saying that they're going to do one thing, and then next thing you know, we're seeing a completely opposite. So that's what I really love about it. I think the big thing now New York is very different from where I'm from. I'm from Nebraska. We have things a bit different over here, but in New York, I think one thing I'm really concerned about, because there's so many issues in New York. I'm a physician, and one thing I'm concerned about is the cost of healthcare, and how can we help it so that the people who have been severely negative affected by the big beautiful bill and the cuts in funding for healthcare, how can we ensure that people in New York can benefit? How can we ensure that they can stay with their heads above water during this difficult time? What are the suggestions for helping people with their health care, make it more affordable, and how to fill in the gaps for people who are going to fall through the cracks because they're losing their funding, for, like, say, Medicaid, for example?
Yeah, that's going to be a long answer, but Renee, if you
No, I
could
have an
respond,
answer for
sorry,
that.
very quickly.
I have an answer for that, Curtis.
Okay.
Okay. I would push more towards, Dr. Cordelia, as universal health care for all, because I've seen, in my own family, certain healthcare insurances, that if you don't have, if it's a low income health insurance and you have certain types of, well, you need to see a specialist or you have to have a surgery. And if your health insurance doesn't cover, for that surgery or to see that special doctor, you're denied, services. And some people are denied to the fact where they need it to live or they need it to survive, and they wind up dying because they don't have the insurance, and insurance is not covered. And that should never happen. My mother, 83 years old in 2016, had urinary cancer, transitional cell. First she was diagnosed. It took a year before she was diagnosed. They told her she had urinary infection, but she was bleeding clogs of blood in the toilet at 83 years old. So by a year later, when they decided that they want to diagnose the cancer, by then her tumor was already 6 centimeters, and she had a low income insurance, and she could have probably survived, or went through some type of surgery. And if she was able to get into Sloan Cancer Center, which is one of the best cancer centers in New York City at that particular time, but because her insurance didn't cover certain things with surgery and special doctors and stuff like that, she didn't get treated, and she was left to die in the hospital. So yes, I understand exactly, Dr. Cordelia, where you're going with that. And I would expect that universal, healthcare for all. Nobody should be able to deny any type of doctor, specialist, dentist, GYN, or anything that they need, dealing with their physical body. It should not be denied because they're poor or because their insurance doesn't cover it.
I agree. And I'm so glad to hear that, Renee, because it's really important. I think we have a problem in the United States where people are getting gaslit to think that it's there's something wrong with expecting a first world country like the United States to be aligned with the same all other first world countries where their citizens have a basic standard of healthcare. All citizens have a basic standard of healthcare, and it is completely normalized in other first world countries that have a similar GDP as the United States, and have advanced economies like the United States. It's only in America where people are made to feel as if, you're a quote communist, if you believe that everyone should have a basic level of healthcare. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Renee.
Thank you. With that, I'm going to shut down the recording.